So, trying new things, experimenting, feeling alive.
Yeah.
When was a time in your life that you really felt alive?
So it was, we were at Disneyland, or California Adventure, the one across the street, and we were going on all kinds of roller coasters, and because I was in a wheelchair, I got to on the front of all the lines. So, of course, every roller coaster that my brother and sister wanted to go on, I could go on too. So, we're going in line, and my big thing was I'd go on no roller coasters with a loop, because that just freaked me out.
Okay.
So, every roller coaster we went on, I was like, this doesn't have a loop though, right? My brother's like, no. So, we get to the front, or we're in line for California Screaming.
There's no loop.
No, right? And I asked my brother, I'm like, there's no loop, right? Yeah, no. Alright, we get in, strap in, and like they're counting down 10, 9. He looks over at me and goes, there's a loop. I freak out. Like, let me out. I'm done? No. He's like, you're gonna be good. We go on it. I have the time of my life. The loop was awesome. And we went on that ride like probably 10 more times before we left the park that day. I loved it.
Yeah. So what did you take away from that in terms of you went in, there was a loop, then you ended up doing it 1,000 times in that day. What did that experience teach you? Or what came from that?
Don't trust my brother. No, it did taught me that, I mean, trying new things is always good. And that stuff that may scare you at first is not all that scary once you have the courage to go and do it.
Definitely. Yeah, courage is huge.
Yeah.
And being comfortable with who you are,
Yeah.
and having the courage to say, hey, I'm going to try something new today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime I go to a sushi restaurant, you like sushi?
Yeah.
Anytime I go to a sushi restaurant, I'm like, look, I don't know anything about sushi. I talk to the waiter and I'm like, hey, bring me the most authentic piece of sushi I have.
Oh boy.
Long story short, first time I ever had sushi, I actually went with my college roommate, Randy. He said, here, try this big old ball of green stuff.
Oh.
He gave me this big chunk. It was about this
Yeah.
big. This big old piece of, it wasn't like a little tiny thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'll try it, whatever. I'm like, trying new things, experience. So I put it in my mouth, I'm like, oh! And it like lit my whole senses up. This is another story about don't trust your friend. No, I'm kidding. But it was this idea of, that was a great experience. I mean, I learned something, obviously.
Not trust him yet.
Well, wasabi's really hot. But it was just this experiment of kind of having this naive personality, this naiveness, and you just go out and have the courage to just try something new. And I think it's a great story in terms of the roller coaster. But yeah, I don't like loops either.
No. No, maybe more. No.
Thanks for joining us today on seeing the courage behind new experiences. And remember to always, well, sometimes, trust your brothers.